So in this video, we're going to be looking at WIBY. WIBY is another one of the Internet archives. So in the previous video, I looked at GeoCities Galleries, which is a website basically where it archives all of people's websites, in different areas and styles. WIBY is another one of those websites, except this one does things a bit differently. As you can see, it has a search bar and then another button that says surprise me, which we will get to in a moment. Click on the about. So why Whippy? In the early days of the web, pages were made primarily by hobbyists, academics, and computer savvy people about subjects they were personally interested in. Later on, the web became saturated with commercial pages that overcrowded everything else. All the personalized websites are hidden among a pile of commercial pages. Google isn't great at finding them. Its focus is on finding answers to technical questions, and it works well by finding things you didn't know you wanted to know, which was the real joy of web surfing no longer happens. In addition, many pages today are created using bloated scripts that add slick cosmetic features in order to mask the lack of content available on them. Those pages contribute to the blandness of today's web, which, as anyone know who uses the internet, is pretty well true. The WIBY search engine is building a web of pages as it was in the earlier days of the internet. In addition, WIBY helps manage computers to continue browsing the web as pages indexed are more suitable for their performance. And so, in other words, really old stuff. So, as I said, when I first clicked in, there was a function called surprise me, which we are going to use. So now we're going to be using our first surprise me. Let's click on it. It says you asked for it, and it takes us to a a website or on a very old web page. So as you can see, very bright, very yellow. It's called Henry's Rabbit Ranch Home. So let's have a look at this one. Are you in the mood for some really good times on the mother road? If you are here, if you are, you've come to the right place. The place, of course, is Henry's Rabbit Ranch in Stanton, Illinois. So rabbits, both types exist. A hopping kind and the VW kind. Henry's Rabbits Ranch celebrates Route 66 and the people along the highway with its emporium of highway and trucking memorabilia that includes a collection of Campbell's Humpin' to Please trailers next to a replica of a vintage gas station. Henry's Rabbit Ranch Station and Visitor Center looks like a real old classic filling station once found all along Route 66. At Henry's Rabbit Ranch, you'll find a wide selection of Route 66 gift and collectible items too. Henry's Rabbit Ranch is a Route 66 Visitor Center Deluxe. So it looks like this one is basically dedicated to a ranch along the historic Route 66. Look, definitely, definitely interesting. That's so there's more little tidbits. Henry's Rabbit Ranch, Hampton Inn, save a landmark roadside attraction. In June 2003, the Route 66 caravan paid a visit to Henry's Rabbit Ranch to honor them with a roadside attraction sign. Pictured from left to right are Rich Henry Hattie Kuhn of the Illinois Route 66 Heritage Project, and Jim Conkle, the Hampton Inn 66 Caravan spokesperson. Henry Rabbit's Ranch is truly a sight worth of seeing. Fortunately, unfortunately, given obviously the newer internet, some of these pictures are not going to work, which is unfortunate because it would have been interesting to have a look and see, see these sorts of things. So as you can see down the bottom, uh, there's a copyright 2003 to 2025, which is probably done by WIPY, valid CCS and XHTML. So we're talking old stuff. So let's have a look at Guy's page, see if Guy's news and fun page. The world can be a scary place, Guy's story by Rich Henry. Not much is known about Guy's birth and early years since we did not come across him till November of 2007. A friend of mine, Nelson, came about mid November 2007 and said, I need your help since he was involved with Stanton Tourism and Route 66. I thought it had something to do with Route 66. I asked what he needed. He said, there is a tame bunny loose in my backyard, and my next door neighbor has two boxer dogs. I said I would help him catch it, but that I really didn't need any more bunnies. This was afternoon, a nice day for November, as I had put my bunnies out for the day. It's about 3:15. I told him as soon as I could put mine back inside, I would stop by. After he left, I kept thinking about it. How can people dump a tame bunny? It's a death sentence usually, and it it basically just goes on to talk about, I guess, from what I'm seeing, how he went on to help his friend catch a rabbit. It's pretty cool. There it is. But yeah, look, it's definitely vintage, definitely cool. When you look at the fact that this is the old internet, well, not it's old internet, but not so much old because it's still 2007, so it's still old in that period when essentially you could really go on any website maker and make anything and make essentially anything you wanted, not limited by today's web page makers. So let's keep looking at this Montana's page, see if that works. So it looks like Montana Queen of Henry's Rabbit Ranch and passed away in June 2008. So it looks like this was another bunny. Yeah, so I'm gonna say this is definitely another rabbit they had at this place. Born February 23rd, 2001. Yep. That's this just goes on to just talk about this rabbit they had there. Then we scroll Route 66 links. So it's just so it's just Route 66 state associations, Illinois Route 66, Illinois Route 66 Heritage Project, preservation organizations. So obviously like the many different types of organizations that are out there that are looking after Route 66 and the various parts of it. Yeah. Some stories, motel, yeah, haunted has its ghosts. Check out the hauntings of Macapoon County, Illinois. Unfortunately, it does not work. Let's go back. If it wants to go back, it does not. Winning. Anyway, look, that was yeah, Montana's Route 66 rabbits. So now we move on to our second Whippy. Click on Surprise Me. Dun, 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 dun. Airship to Orbit project. Ooh, this looks interesting. So JR Aerospace, Airship to Orbit. As you can tell, it's definitely interesting. So we are creating a whole new way to space. If you want to get to space, you climb on top of a giant fuel tank and light it on fire. There's got to be a better way. The idea is simple. Use an airship to float onto the top of the airmosphere. Then the craft slowly accelerates using electric chemical hybrid rocket engines over days until it reaches orbital velocity. The details are complicated. For an airship to fly at the edge of space, it will need to be big, and I mean really big, over a mile long. It would also need to be very light. A Gossamer hypersonic airship, such a vehicle is not suited for flight in the lower atmosphere. This and other factors create the need to a three-stage approach. So we have the first stage airship, a dark sky station, and then an orbital airship. So the first stage is an airship that travels from the ground to 140,000 feet. There it will dock with a way station floating at the top of the atmosphere. Cargo and crew then transfer to a larger orbital airship for the 9-day journey to orbit. As you can see, we have conducted thousands of tests in the ATO program, both on the ground and at the edge of space. This is interesting. I mean, like, personally, I'd never heard about this, but if this is legitimate, it's pretty cool if this is legitimate. I mean, but given the fact that, we have things like SpaceX, you know, I don't think this ever really got anywhere, but let's look that yeah, let's keep looking. So we have built a series of large and small airships one step at a time. Of course, this whole thing is crazy. You can't possibly fly an airship in space, can you? We are answering that question. It's been over 40-year project. We've had our share of successes and failures. Figuring it out. We are figuring it out. I invite you to follow along on the journey. I can't promise success, but I'll be back. It will be a heck of a ride. Dark Sky Station. Oh, okay, so JP Aerospace, America's other space program. Okay. So as you can see, this is, I guess, their main page, where they apparently built a submarine. So apparently this page was last edited on March 31st, 2021. So in other words, it's fairly new, fairly recent. So I'm guessing this company is probably potentially still in business. Then Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or what was Twitter is now X, and Instagram. So I'm guessing they're probably still in business. So this particular page was updated 2020. It's just an about page. It's for the past 42 years they've been developing their rocket technology. We have two projects, PongSat and Airship to Orbit. Both have foundation-shaking impacts on humans' reach into space. Yeah, you know, as I said, look, I've never heard of these people. Um, I don't know if the viewers have either. If you have, please let me know down in the comments. It'd be interesting to see if anyone has heard of these people. It's this one. This is PongSat, the world's space program. Okay. Student experiments flown to the edge of space. Okay. Over 18,000 PongSats have flown. This was the 10,000th. Are those just like golf balls? Ping pong balls? That's weird. Cool, interesting, but weird. I mean, I'm guessing based on this, they're legitimate. Listen, I've never heard of them. Oh, maybe you have. What are the history? The story of PongSat. For 18 years, the PongSat program has been a part of JP Aerospace. 14 experience from a high school math class in Sacramento, California, flew to the edge of space aboard a balloon platform. So it looks like they're using alternative means to get into space, which is pretty cool. You don't see too much of that these days. A lot of it's just rich people, and unfortunately, I'm not one of them. But yeah, look, as I said, look, it's definitely an interesting theory, I guess, if it works, if it's legitimate. It's that story again. Here we go. That was a bit silly, but yeah, look, as I said, definitely an interesting theory in general. On to the next one. If you like this video, give it a like. If you like the channel, give it a subscribe, and hit that notification bell to keep updated about any future videos. Okay, so that was our second WIBY. Now on to our third WIBY. Surprise me. See what comes up. Hollywood Tarot. Interesting, interesting. Warning, this website is an affront to all serious students of the divinatory arts. If you are in dire need of an actual prophecy, contact the International Tarot Society, the American Tarot Association, or the Clairvoyant Certification Board, the College of Metaphysical Studies, for a listing of professional oracles and diviners in your area. So it looks like a website basically dedicated to tarot card readings. Based on this, see if we can find even a date. Copyright info. Yep. So 1998 to 1999. Right. So it tells you how old this website actually is. So even before 2000, so that's pretty old. Pretty old. Given that this website is definitely from the very early, very basic internet before most people even knew what they were doing. So let's have a look. So we have introduction. Yeah, so let's click on introduction. Okay, so the terror introduction or introductory, I should say, as what they've listed it as. Tarot has been around for a long, long time. The reason it works is because it acknowledges the archetypes that function in the human psyche. A tarot reading is the use of tarot cards as an intuition tool to access conscious awareness of the archetypes that are manifesting in a person's life. I mean, look, if you believe in tarot cards, cool. I don't, but it's interesting nonetheless. As I said, I don't believe in that stuff. If you do, let me know down in the comments what you think of it. So let's continue. These archetypes exist in the larger human universe, not just in tarot cards. For example, the Greek and Roman gods are personifications of these same archetypes: the god of war, the god of love, the hunter, Mother Earth, etc. All of these characters are part of the mass consciousness, piece of our larger identity as human beings. Or for another example, Carl Jung's archetypes. So we're talking about archetypes. Again, look, I'm not going to claim to be an expert on tarot cards at all. Yeah, so anyway, that's why certain entertainers became so vivid and real and important to the rest of us Joe Schmoes. They epitomize archetypes. There's a name for it in Hollywood. It's called typecasting. Famous entertainers exist on at least three levels. Wise ones exist on at least four. So then it goes into the four levels. The archetype of the character that they portray on film, TV, whatever. Example: Woody Allen as the Flamel. Level 2, the archetype of their real life identity by the outside, aka their National Enquirer or something. Example: Woody Allen as cradle robbing narcissist. Fair enough. Level 3, who they are actually in their daily life. Having never met Woody Allen, I can't provide a description. That's obvious. Level 4, which most people are never aware of their actual identity archetype. What people discover when they finally find themselves. Your author has not seen Deconstructing Harry, but I do have a sense that it alludes to this. The audience can be aware of only the first two levels. In some entertainers, the level one archetype, the character they portray, is their strongest archetype. For others, level two archetype is stronger. Their National Enquirer persona. Then it just goes on to talk about perfect Hollywood tarot. You'll notice there's no reverse side on Hollywood tarot cards. The positives and negatives of any situation already built into the archetype. For example, if you get Elvis Presley, Six of Wands glory, you're astute enough to figure out whether a positive Elvis or negative Elvis is appropriate to your question. Again, I don't understand any of that, so I wouldn't even try. So let's go Hollywood tarot. Ask your question first. Think of your question. Got it? Maybe you want to write it down just in case. Okay, now pick a layout. Your choice. So, or yeah, nothing there. Uh, Hollywood. Oh, never mind. They got some right. Hollywood cards, our version of the classic 10 tarot card layout. Seventh, no, the trilogy, the three card edited for television version and card of the day, the one card soundbite version of the tarot. Fair enough. Who's on what card? So, Major Arcana. Robin Wood, the Fool, the Magician, High Priest, the Empress, the Emperor, the Hierophant, the Lovers, the Charioteer, Strength, the Hermit, Wheel of Fortune, Justice, the Hanged Man, Major Life Change. The card Major Life Change, the card usually called Death. Temperance, the Devil, the Tower, the Star, the Moon, the Sun, Judgment, and the World. So then I guess it assigns some famous actors to each of these cards. You got Robin Williams as Mort, is the Fool, the Magician, again Robin Williams, Whoopi Goldberg, Donna Reed, Patrick Stewart, Pat Morita, Roy Rogers and Dale Evans, Carlton Heston, Sigourney Weaver as Lieutenant Ripley, Greta Garbo, Kevin Bacon, Gillian Anderson, Clint Eastwood, Christopher Reeve, Lou Gossett and Richard Gere, James Earl Jones, Bruce Willis, Marilyn Monroe, Ava Gardner, Meg Ryan, John Wayne, and the audience. Then as you can see, there's the minor, the pentacles, cups, wands, and so forth. So as you can see, these are just who's on the card. Yeah. Okay. Then we go this one, the archive. Oh, so it's just an archive. Just an archive. Make your own deck. Link. Oh, you could skip over this website and find over 500 links to other wonderful worldwide places. So as you can see, this is a website dedicated solely to tarot cards. Interesting, yet very very like not light, but you can definitely tell it was done in the early days of the internet. And on to the next one. Okay, so for our last whippy, let's click on Surprise Me. So Beth and Eric's travel. So it seems we've stumbled on someone's essentially travel blog. So it looks like this was last updated in 2019. So this is pretty cool. So it's fairly recent-ish. Well, still old. So it looks like they've gone places outside the US, California bike trips, Alaska and Hawaii, Pacific Northwest, continental United States outside of West Coast. So let's click on outside of the US. Let's look at New Zealand. So Beth and Eric's 25th anniversary New Zealand Aotearoa adventure. That's pretty cool. 2016 was their 25th anniversary. It's pretty cool. So it looks like it's been more than 25 years since the day we made our vows back in upstate New York. That's pretty cool. So it looks like some pictures, doing the charming Hobbiton movie set and seeing the Hobbitals. That's pretty cool. Active volcano, exploring the active geothermal. Rotorua, some waterfall. That's pretty cool. As you can see, it's plenty of pictures. This is one of those things where it's just it gives you a glimpse into someone's life. Obviously, it's not much, but it gives you a glimpse into their own adventures. You know, just just look at these pictures. They're really cool. Some hiking, general notes. I guess this is Eric. Definitely looks like he's enjoying himself. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Let's go back. So let's click Australia. So here we are on their trip in 2005 to Australia. Sydney Opera House, Harbour Bridge. Looks like the bridge walk. It's pretty cool. We're on the ferry. Hmm, it's pretty cool. QBB QBB building. I know that because I am from Australia. And it's the Queen Victoria building, but we abbreviated the QVB building. Bondi, the Blue Mountains, so it's the Three Sisters. I'm afraid of heights, so I would never get on that thing. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Queensland, as you can see, just overseas adventures. They definitely enjoyed it. Yeah, That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool indeed. So let's look at something in California. Let's from Monterey Bay, Central Marine Mammals. Again, it just so this is pretty cool when you look at the fact that this is essentially these people's personal blog on their trips. You know, what else do we have? What else do we have? Sequoia and Kings Canyon National Parks. Fortunately, minimally, it's just nothing here, unfortunately. So, what do we got? Pacific Magnificent Oregon Coast. Okay, so it looks like they've been to the Oregon coast multiple times throughout the years. So this one was actually updated very recently. That's pretty cool. So we look at their 2020 trip. Yeah, it's just a blog again, but still pretty cool. You know, the pictures are definitely pretty cool. You know, cats, everyone like flowers. Again, yeah, again, it's pretty cool and just it was a cheeky little insight into these people's life, I guess. Pretty cool. Um, yeah, so that's a whippy for you. I hope you enjoyed that. And, yeah, till next time. Okay, so for our last whippy, let's click on Surprise Me. So Beth and Eric's travel. So it seems we've stumbled on someone's essentially travel blog. So it looks like this was last updated in 2019. So this is pretty cool. So it's fairly recent-ish. Well, still old. So it looks like they've gone places inside the US, California bike trips, Alaska and Hawaii, Pacific Northwest, continental United States outside of West Coast. So let's click on outside of the US. Let's look at New Zealand. So Beth and Eric's 25th anniversary New Zealand Aotearoa adventure. That's pretty cool. 2016 was their 25th anniversary. It's pretty cool. So it looks like it's so more than 25 years since the day we made our vows back in upstate New York. That's pretty cool. So it looks like some pictures, touring the charming Hobbiton movie set and seeing the Hobbitals. That's pretty cool. Active volcano, exploring the active geothermal, Rotorua, some waterfall. That's pretty cool. As you can see, it's plenty of pictures. This is one of those things where it's just it gives you a glimpse into someone's life. Obviously, it's not much, but you know, it gives you a glimpse into their own adventures. You know, just just look at these pictures. They're really cool. Some hiking, general notes. I guess this is Eric. Definitely looks like he's enjoying himself. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Let's go back. So let's click Australia. So here we are on their trip in 2005 to Australia. Sydney Opera House, Harbour Bridge. Looks like the bridge walk. It's pretty cool. We're on the ferry. Hmm, it's pretty cool. QBB QBB building. I know that because I am from Australia. And it's the Queen Victoria building, but we abbreviated the QVB building. Bondi, the Blue Mountains. So it's the Three Sisters. I'm afraid of heights, so I would never get on that thing. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Queensland. As you can see, just overseas adventures, they definitely enjoyed it. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool indeed. So let's look at something in California. Let's from Monterey Bay, Central Marine Mammals. again, it just so this is pretty cool when you look at the fact that this is essentially these people's personal blog on their trips. You know, what else do we have? What else do we have? Sequoia and Kings Canyon National Parks. Fortunately, minimally, it's just nothing here, unfortunately. So, what do we got? Pacific Magnificent Oregon Coast. Okay, so it looks like they've been to the Oregon coast multiple times throughout the years. So this one was actually updated very recently. That's pretty cool. So we look at their 2020 trip. And it's just a blog again, but still pretty cool. The pictures are definitely pretty cool. Cats, everyone like flowers. Again, yeah, again, it's pretty cool and just it was a cheeky little insight into these people's life, I guess. Pretty cool. Yeah, so that's a whippy for you. I hope you enjoyed that. And, yeah, till next time.